Hi crafty friends, Monique here with Grace and Tattered Lace, and we're here to make a pumpkin scarecrow trio. Just going to hang out here just for a minute or two and see if you guys start to pop on, and if you don't, then we'll go ahead and get started and you guys can watch back on our replay. I hope you guys are all having a fabulous day. As you pop on, please be sure to let me know where you're watching from. I'm here in sunny Southern California. It is a very hot day out today, or it was. It's evening now. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing fabulous. We're going to make a scarecrow pumpkin trio. This is the first one that I've made, the little girl, and we are going to make a male and a little one to go with it. Hello friends, I hope you guys are having a fabulous day today. Let me know where you're watching from as you pop on. I forgot one thing, I'm going to go ahead and grab it really quick. We are going to be making the pumpkin scarecrow trio. This is a little girl that I've made so far, and we're going to use these two to make the male and a child, baby, whatever we want to call it. All right. Okay, well, let's get started. I've already prepped. Hello, Sharon. Thank you for joining me, my friend. This is what we're making today. This is a scarecrow pumpkin scarecrow, whichever way you want to say it. This is the girl that I've already made, and we're going to make two to go with it. We're going to make a male and a toddler, a baby, whatever you want to call it. I've already prepped one of the blocks. I got this block from the Dollar Tree. I've drilled a hole in it, and this is the one this is how it looks unfinished. I've drilled a hole in this one, and we're going to go ahead and get them started. We'll stain this and get this prepped for our scarecrow, and then we'll start building our scarecrows. So to stain this, I just used some antique wax by Waverly. I put a little bit of this on, and then we covered it a little bit with some paint. I'm going to use a baby white. And I'm just going to, I've shook it, and I have a little bit in the lid. I'm just going to put a little bit on my baby white. Like so, and we're just going to rub it on. And then we'll rub it off a little bit so that it's not quite so dark, but we're going to also cover it with a little bit of paint because I just like to give it a little bit of dimension and more colors to it. So I'm just rubbing it on. I like to go the direction of the wood. We'll do all sides and the top. And there we go. And I'm not too worried about the part that I haven't touched that part because we're going to touch it with some paint now. And these are kind of the same concept. So this one is Hello Bobby. This is the new Walmart brand, and this one is Cafe Noir. And I'm just going to take a paintbrush. It's mostly dry. It's a little damp, just because I used it earlier. So I'm just going to dip a little bit of paint on it, and I'm just going to stroke it over the top like this. And then I'm going to take my wipe, and I'm going to wipe it off. And it kind of gives it that stained look. You can see how it gives it a little bit of a two-dimension look because of the colors behind it. And we're just going to do the same thing all the way around. I hope you had a great day today. Today was my second day back at, wait, is today the second day? What is today? Today is Wednesday. I work in the school district. Today is my third day back to school. First day back for the students. Kind of crazy, but not too bad. Alright, let's just do the top. Alright, and there we are. We're done with the paint. And we'll just wipe this off. And there we go. Okay. I'm just going to toss this out. I'm going to wipe my hands off because I have some white colored things that I don't want to get brown paint and stain all over. We're going to set this to the side because I don't want to use it quite yet. All right. Let's do our big guy first. And I have to tell you, I'm not 100% sure I really like the face on this little girl. I am not the best painter in the world, and so I haven't decided whether I like the face or whether I want to just leave her plain. I think I'll put them all together and I kind of will go from there and figure out what I want to do. So for this little guy, I was thinking I was going to make him some overalls. Since I made the girl a dress, I made a little template. I made it out of a paper towel. Actually, I made it on cardboard first. This is just a piece that I had left over from a spray painting project I've done. Hi Angelica, thank you so much. I just freehanded it, and then I cut out a mock model on a paper towel because I wanted to see what it looked like. And so this is what happens when you open it up. So when you're using fabric and you want to have something, you have a pattern like this. Thank you, Angelica. And you want to have it a two-piece. If you're not a sewer, when you put your pattern down, you want to put the straight edge on the fold of your fabric. So I'm thinking I'm going to do my little boy using this fabric to kind of contrast our female. So I'm going to fold my fabric in half. So I have the raw edge here and I have the fold over here, okay? And I actually wanted to turn this inside out because I want to try to mark on this with a pencil. We'll see. It's better if you have a small, like, washable marking pen or a pen. The only other pens I happen to have sitting in front of me are permanent markers, and it will go through your fabric. So I want to take this straight edge, and again, I'm going to put it on the fold side here. Okay? And then I'm just going to trace this. Hopefully I can see my marking. I might have to put my glasses on to see, guys. So the reason you want to put it on the fold is so when you open it up, you have the whole thing without having to piece it together. Let's see if I can see this. I cannot. We really need a better pen. I need a pen in here, guys, not a Sharpie. Okay, better. All right, so then I'm just going to trim this up. Oh, Sharon, I have some ideas, my friend. Just be patient. I have some ideas. Burlap fabric also sounds fabulous, but I have some tricks up my sleeve. All right. And I forgot I was going to try to cut both of these together. If I was using my smarts, I would have remembered. So when we do the little boy, I'll remember. If I folded this in half, I could have cut these exactly the same time. So they matched up identically. So what I could have done was taken this fabric that I had and folded it in half this direction and cut them both at the same time. But I wasn't thinking, you guys. I apologize. So bear with me while I cut one more. I am in California. It is quite warm where I live. Excuse me for my disheveled look. Katie sent me a copy of the pattern. Okay. Oh, certainly. I can most definitely draw this out and send you a pattern, or post a pattern in my files, Sharon. Because I saved everything that I did. I can do this kind of freehand stuff, but don't ask me to freehand the paint faces on my little characters. One thing I just am not great at. Yeah, so I kind of have a little bit of this shoveled look today, you guys. I apologize. Today was hair washing day. My one of my greyhounds had to have surgery on Monday. He had a growth, and we're hoping it wasn't cancer. He seemed to be acting normal, but you just never know. Took us a lot longer to do our morning walk this morning, so I had less time to get ready. And yeah, so I just had to throw my hair up wet this morning. All right. Here's our 2 pieces for our little guys. Ay! Would you guys believe it? I cut it wrong. I should have used my other template. Ah! Look what I did. Let's try this again. I knew there was a reason why I wanted to use the one I had already, the paper one. I did that before. I made that pattern yesterday and I forgot. I think I'm just going to try to cut it without tracing it. I apologize for that. Okay. Yeah, so our morning walk took a little bit longer than normal. And I was running late, and of course, on the first day of school, you don't want to be late because there's always a million parents at school dropping their children off and wanting to see where their classroom is and walk them to class, and the parking lot is always much fuller and crazier the first day of school. All right. Now let me trim his little legs. So his leg slit has to go from the inside here. I don't know if you can see how I have that. The leg slit goes right there. Okay, now we should have his little pants. There we go. I wish I knew what files are not good on computers. You're not. Oh, Angelica, it's just like a PDF. I can put it on. I can probably. I don't know if I can link it. If I post it on there as a PDF, if I post it on as a PDF, it will go to the files, and so you should be able to go in the post and grab it, and then it'll be in the files for future. All right, let me get all these little pieces out of the way. All right, so our little guy, I'm going to take him off of our stick so that I can work on this right now. So I'm just going to take my stick. First of all, I'm going to use this is going to be his arms, to hold his arms to stay out. So we're going to glue this here first, like so. So this is just a popsicle stick. Okay. Angelica, if I post a PDF, if you click on it, it should open up right to your computer, and then you can print it from there. All right, so we'll glue that. And then we're going to glue the stick here, right down the middle. I just want to find out where his head needs to come, where it needs to glue to. So right about here. And we'll glue that there. And then we're going to glue the top right here. Okay, and I'm just going to glue it kind of, I'll glue the top on each side. All right, and now I want to have some, like the little girl, we're going to make some moss come out of her arms to give her like that scarecrow type look. And last time I didn't do it before and I had to kind of squeeze it in there, so I'm going to do it before this time. Just get a little bit. And glue this down. Let me get glue's hot, so you have to be very careful not to glue your fingers. And we'll do this side. So this is what we have so far, okay? And I think I want to put some coming out his feet, since he doesn't have like a little skirt like the little girl does. This stuff is so messy, you guys. That. And then I'm just going to glue him shut all the way around. You probably, if you really wanted to, you could probably put some stuffing in him to make him a little bit fuller if you wanted to do that. I opted to not do it that direction. I do have the feeling I could have done it. I just didn't want to. Alright, so there we have him so far. He might be a little bit crooked. I have to try to fix him inside here. Okay, now what I wanted to do for him is I wanted to give him a little pocket here. I wanted to give him some suspenders. So I've kind of just already pre-torn some fabric. This is actually the same fabric that was the little girl's dress. I've just turned it over so that it has a little bit of the print, but not as much as the print as she has, just to kind of give them a little bit of coordinating look. So we're going to glue that there. I had some little buttons to put on his suspenders. Like that one to find another one to match. I wish I would have saved all the buttons that my mom had when I was growing up. She was a seamstress, and she always had buttons everywhere. Not quite the same. Let's see here. So hard when there's so many of the same color, but not the ones you want. Okay. Oh, I think we're going to go with that. They're very similar, but not exactly the same. All right. All right, so I'm going to glue this on. I'm going to leave his pocket open in case I decide to put something inside his pocket. And some more glue. Anybody have kids that were off of school today for their first day of school, or are they starting back soon? I do not have any young children anymore. Mine are all grown and out of the house. But always the fun to go. I mean, I wasn't really looking forward to going back to work, but it is always fun to go back and see your kiddos. All right. Okay, now I'm going to put this little guy on his, I think I'll put that on his knee. I think that will be very cute on his knee. Maybe we better put two. This is going to be the print of our little boy's outfit, so I think I'll go ahead and put this on there as well. No. Maybe like that. Okay. I like that. All right. There we go. Okay. Yours are flying the nest quickly. Oldest will be a senior in college. Woohoo! Awesome. Hello, Tamara. Thank you for joining me from Texas. All right, look, so this is what we have so far for our little boy pumpkin scarecrow. We're going to put his head on here. We'll get him dustied up. We might put some stuff. I left his pocket open, so if I want to put something inside his pocket. I think before I put his head on, I want to try to decide if I forgot to put some stuffing coming out his neck. So here we go. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you for joining me, my friend. So those that joined us late, this is our little girl. I'm not the greatest painter in the world, so I'm not really sold on her face. I really haven't decided if I want her face or if I just want to leave her. If I want to twist the stuff on the top around and just have no face. We will see. Let's get these guys put together first, and then I'll kind of make up my mind. So I'm thinking that I'm going to wrap his, I really like the stem on this, and I don't want to change it because I like the twirliness of it, but I'm going to wrap some twine around that. Thank you so much. So I have some twine, and I'm just going to wrap it around. I want to use this or something bigger. rope I have. I think he would look cute with a chunkier ribbon. I'm not sure I have enough of this chunkier one for him. I think this came off of something. Yeah, no. Unfortunately, there's not enough of this chunky one to put on here for him, so we'll have to use twine. See if I have anything else. This one might be too big. Let's see what this one looks like. Yeah, I think that one might be too big for his little. Takes away kind of, I think, from like it being supposed to be like a little, scarecrow. All right, so let's use this really quick around his stem. And you guys, I made the pattern. I freehanded a pattern for his little outfit. I made it out of cardboard, and then I cut it into a lap. This is a napkin. I wanted to see before I cut the fabric what it was like. And so this is my little pattern. I will trace this out onto a piece of paper and upload it for you guys along with the pattern that I used for the girl's dress and the little boy's pant outfit. If you guys want that, I'll make it available for you guys. Alright, so I'm just going to wrap the twine around here really quick. Making sure I get all the little holes covered. So I hope you guys had a great day today. Debbie, what is your, is it your son is in college? No, you didn't say. What is your oldest studying in college? I really like the craziness of this little stem because I think it makes it look so much more authentic. I might have to trim that little side off. Almost done, guys, with this part. He is going to be so cute. Ooey, owie. Okay. Might trim that off. I'm going to put some more moss here in his neck. Glue this shut. And then we have our little boy. I'll glue his head on here. All right. There we go. I like them like that. We'll give them some greenery up here. Tamara, I found these pumpkins at Hobby Lobby. I absolutely love them. They are so cute, and there's so many different colors and shapes. I have another one. Let me show you. Sorry, it fell as I was trying to grab it. This one was really cute too, and I was going to use this one. but I just didn't like all three large ones. It took away from the aspect of me trying to make maybe like a mom and a dad and a baby. And there was other ones as well. So anyway, there's this guy. Let's give him some greenery, a little wire twine. I don't know if you guys have seen this before. I have to see what this is actually called, but this is floral wire, and then twine is wrapped around it. I like this one. This one's the darker one of the two. There is another one that comes green, and it comes with the regular tan color. So I'm just going to cut off a small piece, like so. This is what maybe about 2 or 3 inches. Oops, my little girl's getting ready to fall over. And then you're just going to take, what do I have here? My desk is a mess. You're just going to take something round, a pencil, a pen, a paint brush stick, and you're just going to wrap it around like so. Okay, and then you'll pull it off, and then you can get your little sprig thing. And then I have some greenery. I got this at Joann's, you guys. This was 75% off. I just got this recently within the past few weeks. I have got so much greenery. This was originally $3.99. It's from their spring collection, but this greenery can be used year-round for a lot of different things. So that's where I got this greenery from. I'm just going to pull a little sprig off for us to use. Maybe another small one, we'll see. We'll glue this on. I'm just going to kind of wrap this piece around his stem. I'm just going to put this on here. So, okay, I don't know if you guys can see that there. The glue's too hot for me to manipulate it still, so I'm going to go this way. I want to get that other way. Okay. Put a piece of greenery here. Don't worry about it not looking pretty when you put the stem on, or on the stem. We're going to put some moss to cover it up, so don't worry about what it looks like right here at the stem. Okay, I think it needs another small piece of greenery. It's not really standing up that great. Okay, this is what we have so far, you guys. Gotta be careful not to burn my fingers. Okay, let's put some moss on him. We'll cover him up that little here, like so. Finger protector here. Okay, now you guys, again, you can put stuffing in him if you want. You can stuff him and make him a little bit fuller. I just didn't want to do that. I don't know why, I just didn't want to. Okay, there we go, there we have him. I'm really thinking, guys, because my painting skills are so horrible, I'm thinking that I'm just going to leave their faces blank, but we'll see when we get to the end. Thank you so much, Angelica. I appreciate that. Okay, let's get him on his stand, and these are just little wood blocks that I got from Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to I drilled a hole in the top. I'm going to put some moss on here. I might have drilled this hole just a tad bit big, so I might have to try to shove some moss in there. Give it a little bit extra coverage. Okay, I have another thing up my sleeve for this little guy, and to finish them off, but I'm not done, so be patient. We're going to make the little boy here in a minute. And we're going to add a couple things to the little girl that I didn't have on there before. There's my hole. Okay. Let's put some glue in there. Alright. It might be a little bit crooked, guys. I might have to go back. And I'm thinking these little wood blocks might not be as sturdy as I was hoping them to be, so I'm really not sure. They may not be the best option for this, you guys, because they are a little bit lightweight because they are hollow inside. I originally had a block of wood that I had 3 holes drilled in that I was going to use, but I was worried about not being able to see all of the scarecrows. So originally I had this block here, and you can see I had 3 holes drilled in for it, and I just didn't think that I was going to be able to see them all that well. So a piece of wood might be a better option. I have to stick him down because my hole is too big. A piece of wood blocks that you can get, just cut them at Home Depot, might be a better option than this because they are hollow. They might be a little bit lighter weight. I might be able to just, yeah, see, I might be able to put them 2 together on here and then put the little boy separately, but I'm just thinking I'm just going to leave them standing like so. I have a lot of junk on my table, so they're unstable. But, okay, so there we go. There's our little boy so far. Maybe we'll put a little bit of stuff in his pocket. Let's finish this little girl off really quick. So you can see I wasn't 100% sure how full her dress should be. I just cinched it tight with a string. I just didn't like how big and frumpy she looked without the string. I was making her fashionable. Thank you so much, Tamara. I appreciate that. Okay, so my little girl, I wanted to add something to her pocket here to kind of tie her in with the patches, like what the little boy has. And too much stuff on my table. He's not wanting to stand up. So I have a little piece that I've torn for her to put on her dress, and I have a little piece of the little burlap ribbon that I had cut a small sprig off of. And I wanted to use a piece of this as well that I stole for the little boy. So I just have some fabric. I've tore it into a strip. I'm just going to tear a little piece off, and then I'll tear a square to give the edges that little jagged. You need to see the making of the little girl. Oh, Angelica, I actually didn't make the little girl. I did her exactly the same way as I did the boy, other than the fact that she has a dress. I'll put the pattern on. Let me show you what the dress looked like before. I have a sample here. So this is what the dress looked like. I made it a little bit longer, and then I tore the ends to give her little jagged ends on her dress. And then I put the pocket on just like the little boy on his overalls. Okay, so I was thinking, I'm trying to tie all the colors in together of their outfits to make them kind of go together. So I'm thinking that I was going to do something like this with her. I'm just using hot glue. Anybody that sews out there can probably sew the dresses together, but I think you could probably glue it faster than you can sew it. I can sew. I do have a sewing machine. Matter of fact, I have 2 sewing machines because when we moved to Tennessee, my sewing machine was in storage and I needed it. And I didn't know where it was at in storage. And literally it was a jigsaw puzzle. It was a Jenga block. The movers had everything packed in there just right, and you couldn't take anything out without taking everything out. Okay, there we go. So I put little patches on her dress to tie her in with the little boy and the dad. So she's done, other than I haven't decided what I want to do with her face. So let's do our baby, toddler, little boy, whatever you want to call it. All right, where did I put his stick? Oh, here he is. Okay, so here's our baby. I'm thinking first thing I want to do, I think, is I want to give him this kind of a stem. I might end up wrapping it with twine, I don't know. So I got these at Dollar Tree. A little blush Angelica instead of the face. I think you're probably right. Because my painting skills are horrible. I'm not gonna lie. So this just has that plastic top off on it. Nothing special about this one. There's no cute, bending of it or anything. So I'm gonna take this one off, and I'm gonna put a wood stem in here. Okay, like so. I'm going to have to glue that baby in. But as you can see, it already changes. I don't like that one. It already changes the way it looks. It looks more real. There we go. As opposed to that little chintzy fake plastic thing. Alright, and so on their bodies, I just used a wooden dowel. This one I cut short to kind of equal to be between the 2 of them. Where's my little block? So he's going to be about there. So he'll be smaller than them. And then for him, I made a little pattern. I used the napkin again. So I made small little pant outfit. Okay, and then we'll cut this out. So we're going to use, I thought I was going to use this cute little, it's like this yellow, I don't want to say mustard because it's not mustardy, but it's a really nice yellow polka dot. And it's not bright, it's a polished yellow. So I'm going to take this pattern and I'm going to fold it in half. And we're going to cut on this straight edge right here on the fold of your fabric. Now this time I'm going to actually fold it in half so that I can get 2 pieces at one time. Okay. I gotta put my glasses on, guys, so I can see what I'm doing. Okay. I'm just going to cut this here so I have a smaller piece to work with. And for those that don't have the, faith in themselves, you can pin this on with some pins so that it doesn't move, and you can cut it out. Just, you know, for me it's just a little craft, so I don't really worry about the pins too much. I like how those edges are not real jagged. Okay, so now the inside of our leg cut is here, so this is not together, so I'm going to trim his leg pieces here. Okay. And there we go, there's our little boy outfit. Oh, thank you, Angelica, I appreciate that comment. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing with him. We're going to use this, but this one is obviously too big, so we're going to have to cut it down. I don't know that my scissors will cut it or not, but we'll see. Okay. Then we're going to glue this on, just like we did the other one. And then we're going to glue his stem or his stick on here. Let's see, where do we need to put this? Right at the top. And I'm going to try to make sure I get this one a little straighter than I did the last one. And then we're going to glue some stuffing on his arms and his legs like we did the boy, or the dad, the big one, I don't know what to call him. I'm going to glue this here. You learn as you go along. With the little girl, I didn't think to put the moss on before I kind of glued the dress together, and then I was trying to squeeze it in afterwards. So I learned this time to glue the moss on first before I glue everything closed. Put some on his neck area. I want it to kind of come out, peek out of his neck. Like so. All right. And then we'll put this piece on top. And glue it all shut. Wow, he has a lot more stuffing than the other guy did. We might have to pull some out. We'll see. All right. Ooh, got some on my plastic thing. Oh, he's so cute, you guys. Uh-oh, I'm gluing him to my doggy pad. There we go. Oh my gosh, you guys. So cute. Okay, almost done. Look at how cute! A little miniature one. All right. Let's see. He might need an orange pocket. Let's see. Or maybe he doesn't need a pocket. Maybe it's too small for a pocket. Let's just kind of look. I don't know. Maybe we just put some patches on his knees. Where are my other scissors? Yeah, I think he just needs some patches. Let me get a piece of ribbon. Kind of looks clownish though, I'm not sure. Go for the pocket, you say, Angelica? You think the pocket? Let's see what a pocket looks like. Let's cut a small one. Let's see. A pocket with a small patch? Maybe that would work. Instead of, I think that's cute. Okay, let's do that. Let's do that. So I'm leaving an opening again in case I want to put any stuffing inside. Some little bit of greenery or flowers or anything like that. Then I can do that. All right, there we go. There is our little pumpkin dude. Look at how cute he is. All right, I gotta glue his head on, and then we'll put some greenery on him. I wish I thought I had a little like scarecrow hat for him, but I don't. So, oops. He might need more glue. This little one is harder to glue than the other two were. Alright, let's pull him for a minute. I have a couple more things to do. He is cute because he's so small, right? What other reason he's not sticking to this? Let me get some E6000 for him. His head's a little wonkier than the other guys. You guys, I found when your E6000 gets a little dried up that this is, hi Sue, a barbecue skewer from Dollar Tree is perfect for opening that back up. Alright. I hope your day is going well, Sue. Thank you for joining me. I know it's late where you are. Alright, hopefully this will stay now. He's still a little wobbly. Oh, I know what the problem is. It's our popsicle stick underneath for his arm. So let's put some glue underneath. That's, I think, my problem. That's okay, Sue. I hope you had a good time with them. My husband's giving me a signal of 5. 5 what?
5 minutes to dinner.
5 minutes to dinner, he says. Well, guess what? You're going to eat alone. All right. Okay, that's better, guys. So my problem is that the popsicle stick, I probably should have left a little bit more space between the popsicle stick and the top of his head. So when you do this, make sure you give yourself a little bit more space because it doesn't really have a whole lot to stick into on the pumpkin head. That's my little problem with him, his head being a little wonky. I think eventually it's going to dry because I've glued it down to that popsicle stick, but he's still a little unstable. All right, let's give him some greenery. Let's give him some moss on his head, and then we're going to finish up with the other little things that I have planned for this. Okay. He's not going to need as much greenery because he's little. And I don't think I'm going to put the little wire on him because he is little. I think it's going to be too much for his little head. And his head's still wonky. I might have to take his stick out and redo him afterwards. We'll see. Alright. Sue, we're making some scarecrow pumpkins. Thank you so much. We have, so far we have the boy. And we have the girl, which I haven't decided if I like her face. I honestly don't. I'm a horrible painter. Miss Angelica has suggested that I just use some blush on her cheeks to give her a little bit of color, which I love that idea. Okay, so let's put some moss on his head. Guys, his head is not sticking. I might have to try to slide another dowel inside. Let's just put another dowel in here and glue this down. There we go. All right. So I'm going to have to glue this guy down. So that was the problem. I just didn't make it tall enough. Woohoo! Hot glue. I didn't make the stem where I put the, left the stem at the top to stick the head in. I didn't leave that long enough. So I had to put another one in. There we go. I'll have to cut this little guy off here. When he's more stable, I'll cut him off. The second dowel. For now, I'm just going to leave him as is so that I don't damage it completely. Still a little wet in there. All right. There we have him. Let's see how tall we need to make him. We need to make him a lot shorter. I think I'm going to make him just a hair longer than I originally had so that I can get him in. All right, there we go. Don't mind my second little stick right there, guys. I'll get rid of that. Oh, yes, that was my little Roxy girl. She's a little pistol, I tell ya. She's a mini Dotson. She's full of energy. Okay, let's put some moss on his. You know what? I'm not going to put moss on him right now and glue him down because I want to go back and take this stick out when I'm done. I just don't want to do it yet because I don't think he's quite stable enough for me to be in there manipulating, trying to get that extra dowel out. Let's work on the other thing I have planned. Wow, look at this mess. So you guys, where is my paper? I made a bird, and I'm going to put a bird on the little the dad's shoulder. I did not use this one, he's too big. I made one a little bit smaller. I've already cut him out because it was a little harder to cut out. So I decided I wanted to use a little polka dot. You could very easily do muslin and paint it black if you wanted to do that, but I just wanted to do this. So he's really, really small, and getting stuffing in him is going to be really hard. So my thought was to use some Spanish moss and kind of glue some Spanish moss in him and piece him together so that he has some moss sticking out, and then it also gives him a little bit of filling. So I'm just going to put some moss right there, glue it right in the middle, and glue this on top. Leaving it stick out, not really anything like this. And then I'm going to glue the other side on top. Like so. Okay. And I was thinking, I'm not sure what I was thinking. I was thinking I could potentially use one of these little curlicue things that I made, glue my bird on here, like so, and then we'll glue it on the back of his arm to make it look like he's sitting on his arm, like so. So, there's Miss Roxy. Miss Roxy, what are you into? This little girl gets into everything, you guys. There's Miss Roxy. She is a cutie pie. Leave both sticks in and just cut the bottom off the short stick. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do, Sue. I'm not going to try to pull it out. I'm going to just try to cut it short where you can't really see it. Okay, so why did I have this? I had this here. Miss Roxy likes to find everything that I have left on the floor or anything that is low. She will get and she will chew up. She is just a little bit over a year old. She shares the same birthday as my 28-year-old. Well, thank you. She is a cutie pie. She's a cuddle bug. She loves to cuddle. She sleeps under the covers at night. She will bury herself completely underneath. All right, there we go. There's our bird. Isn't he cute? Okay. All right, so now let's figure out where we're going to put him on his shoulder. I want him to kind of look like he's sitting there, but yet I don't want it to be completely on there because I want him to be able to, you want to see him well. Just wrap it around and down. Maybe we just do that. All Alright, I kind of just ended up wrapping it around his arm, I think. It looks kind of cute. You put a flower there. Alright, I think that is so cute, you guys. Look at that. Cute! Alright. He's a little crooked. Alright, I like that. Can I glue his head on? Okay. Now we can... Let's make the tag that I have planned. I'm just trying to see if I need to put some flowers in him or not. I have some little flowers. These are also from the spring collection at Joann's, you guys. These can very easily be used for fall flowers. You know, if you accessorize things properly. To me, these looked like you know, cornfields, farm field flowers, and that's just kind of what I was thinking of these when I got these. So, I don't know if I want to put any flowers in his little outfit. I think it just gives him a little bit more color. I could put it in a bird instead of his pocket. Kind of covers up that little twine piece there. I think I like it in his pocket better though. Maybe both. Maybe a white one in his pocket. That kind of looks. I'm not sure which one. I think I kind of like it in the pocket. I'm going to put it in the pocket like that. Okay. All right, let's make the tag. I have an idea for a tag. Okay. So let's, I've got a big mess. Let me get rid of some of this. So we have a little wooden tag. I got this. It came in a large set. I think like 6 to 8 of these from Hobby Lobby. I'm going to cover this with this napkin, and then we're going to top it off. Thank you very much, Angelica. So, I'm just going to cut a small piece here. Actually, I'm going to take this out because I want to cover the whole thing. Cut this the wrong way. So I'm just going to do this. We're going to cover this with some Mod Podge. You guys, I bought myself a new dryer to use. To dry, it's supposed to be a lot quieter and actually dry quicker. And I ordered one on Amazon and it came today, and it was European plug, so I have to send it back. Okay, so we'll get some Mod Podge on there. We're going to put the napkin on top. I want to take out a layer. This has 2 layers, and so I just want to use 1 layer. sure you cover the whole thing. Okay, so I'm just gonna, I put it on the Mod Podge, and I'm just pressing it down, making sure I get all the air bubbles out. I know, aren't these the most beautiful napkins ever? These came from Hobby Lobby. I have another set that's very, very similar to them that I found at Marshall's that don't have the pumpkins in them. I love it because it can be used year-round. Okay, let me dry this, and then we'll put some Mod Podge on top. And sand off the edges, and I cannot wait to show you what I have planned to do with this. All right. I'm not very patient at waiting for this stuff to dry. You could always cut out pieces if you wanted to use this, you know, like this springtime, you can cut out just the sunflower. Okay, so I'm going to put a little Mod Podge over the top. Got some moss on there. Just to seal this on here. So let's dry this. Oh, sorry, that's the loud side. Okay. Have you started making any fall projects yet? Anyone? I thought my daughter was going to come over this weekend and do Halloween, but she forgot, or she got busy. I'm not really sure which, but that's all right. I ended up having to do some work anyhow. All right, so now this is nice and dry. We're going to sand the edges off. I just have a piece of sandpaper that I wrapped around a sanding block. And I'm just going to take the edges off. So, okay. And I'm just going to rough them up just a little bit. I like that kind of vintagey worn look. Not too much in this one because this is such a pretty print. All right, there we go. Okay, let me poke a hole in here where my twine is supposed to go. Now, what I have planned is I want to put a small piece of fabric here. About there. I'm going to use my stamp on this, and I'm going to put fall. So I have my little stamps. We're going to use our distressing ink. Hello, Lynn. Thank you so much for coming in and joining. We're going to stamp this on this. We're going to glue this onto the side here, along with some other goodies. This ink pad is the dark espresso. You guys probably can't see because I left the Mod Podge right in the middle. I like this one. You can use it for the stamping and when you want to like this vintagey look. I also like to use it to do vintage, make these kind of with that vintage rustic look. Antique-ish like. Okay, so there we go. I learned a trick I read somewhere to keep your ink pads from drying out quickly, to store them upside down. I haven't seen, heard any success yet, because I just heard it, but so we're going to glue this here. I think I wanted to do, I got these really cute doilies. Look at how cute this little tiny doily is. So I wanted to put that on here with this, kind of give it that patch look. And let some of that pumpkin and sunflower stuff kind of peek through. Yeah, it wasn't that great information. I was so happy when I saw that. I'd never heard that. Somebody was saying that their ink pad was starting to dry out, and somebody suggested to keep them upside down. Okay, I'll try it. We'll see. I also have some new ink spray coming. I'm super excited to give that a try. I've seen it being used, and it looks really awesome. If you'd like to do that vintage look, just spray some of the ink on. Okay. Probably should have put the doily on first. That's all right. That. I don't know if I want that on there or not. So there we go. There's that. I'm not sure I want that. Put it down there. I know what I was going to do. I wanted to tie the little boys. We used patches of everything except for the little boys. We did put a little piece on the girl's dress, but I think I want to put this behind. I'm not sure. Let's see. This is kind of what I was thinking, to put that behind that. I might have to make it smaller though, because I don't like it so big. Just want it peeking out a little bit. Okay, so I've just torn a small piece of fabric in the color of the little boy's outfit to put behind, like so. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'll glue this on like this, and then I'm going to have to get a hole in this fabric so that I can get my piece of twine back through there. Okay. Let's see if I can do that. No, I'm going to get my twine through there. Okay, so where is my string here? A thing that I learned about putting a twine through your tags is to put just a tiny bit of hot glue on your string. I mean, there's not even enough for me to show you guys, but you also want to make sure it's cool before you go touching it. And I just kind of pull it and twist it a little bit so that it kind of closes the ends up a little bit. That will let you put it through a hole a lot easier. See how easy that was to get through that hole? When you have the frayed twine like that, usually you can sit here forever trying to get it through. Same thing if you're trying to use little farmhouse beads, you can do the same thing, same concept. I know when I did some sample kits way back when I did that, I like pre-put glue on there for everybody. Okay, so there we go. There's our little fall. And I'm not sure, so we have the little boy here. We have our dad. And let's see, where is my girl at? She's laying down.
I really think I'm going to go back. Angelica, I'm just going to turn her face around. I'll put some blush on. I don't have any I could probably use paint. So there we go. There is our little girl with our little sign. And if you get them, displayed right, I think they're going to be great. So I think I will turn her. Can I turn her head around? I can turn her head around. Oh, I'm going to have to glue her dress back on though. I just undid her dress. So I will twist her around, get the bow on there right, and I'll probably end up going and buying another pumpkin. I only bought one. I don't know what I was thinking. Let's glue her dress down. Oh. And I really think, you guys, a stronger piece of wood is going to be a lot better. A little bit, one that's not hollow. These little blocks are great. The little Dollar Tree blocks are great, but I think that ultimately, I don't think that they're going to be sturdy enough to support holding them up. If you wanted to put them out on a display. Oh, her dress. See what I get for trying to turn her head around. All right. Okay, guys. There we have our three little scarecrow pumpkins. We have our little boy. It's really hard. I want to make sure you guys can see them all. With her little patchwork dress. And I gotta get her paint down better. Goodness gracious. Okay. And our boy with his little bird on his shoulder. I feel like they need a face. I just don't have the skills to do it, you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, you guys. I will post, again, I will post the patterns for you guys for the little outfits. If you guys want to make them. The pumpkins came from not Dollar Tree, the pumpkins came from Hobby Lobby. I imagine you could probably find something very similar at Joann's. I did see some stuff at Joann's. Hobby Lobby has all of their fall stuff on 40% off right now. Now's the time to stock up. And if you have the skill and you have the confidence in yourself to paint, I say go ahead and put a face on it. I don't. I tried. You saw what mine came out as, and she's just not that fabulous, you guys. Those eyes, I can't even believe how many times I did it. The attempt was for her eyes and her mouth to be a lot smaller. You saw how they turned out. Not so great. I tried. Anyway, I thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. I appreciate it. If you enjoyed this, please share it. A road trip to Hobby Lobby, definitely. And I guess I've been there for too many times in a row, you guys. I've spent so much money, it's not even funny. Good thing that my husband and I have separate checking accounts. Tuesday, let us know when you post it. Absolutely. Sharon, you're asking about the patterns, right? I will get the patterns drawn up and get them posted. I'll put them in as a PDF file, so you'll be able to, I'll put it as a post, and you should be able to click on the post and open it as the attachment, and then it will file into the files, so later down the road, if you're ever looking for it, you'll be able to look for it in the files as well. Thank you, you guys. I appreciate your time and you spending your evening with me. It was nice and fun, and I'm really thrilled with how they turned out. I hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, I will see you later. Bye.